to see if it works, if it notifies on YouTube or not. Because if it doesn't, then I'm going to switch over to StreamYard, or not StreamYard, switch over to Prism. Good Lord, the brain is not working. Switch over to Rumble. Trying to see, did it notify YouTube this time? If anybody is tuning in from YouTube, can you tell me if, like, drop down in the chat, because I want to make for sure if I use this app that it's actually notifying, because it's supposed to be multi-streaming to YouTube, Rumble, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitch. So I'm just testing it to see if with updating the settings, if it fixed it, because if not, then I'm going to jump on Rumble real quick. Okay, Chelsea's here. Okay, so that means it did notify this time. Good deal. Good to see you, Chelsea. Yeah, I completely updated all the settings of this app to make sure that it notifies YouTube. That way I'm not limited to the Rumble app for multi-stream. So this is the Prism. Both of them are multi-streaming apps. I'm just testing to see which one's better. So glad to see that you guys are seeing it on YouTube. Jason Brown, good to see you. Awesome. Got the notification. Dope. That's what I just need to know, is if you guys actually got notified this time, because the last one it didn't. So thanks, you guys. Thanks for letting me know. For those who haven't, don't forget to follow me on Rumble. I just dropped the link in the chat. Make sure you hit follow and subscribe. Thank you to everybody who's been signing the petition. Please continue to share. Make sure you hit the like button. And for those who would like to support the channel, there is the information. I did receive, let me turn this down a little bit. I did receive some emails from people wanting to donate and wanted to know how. So you can send donations to my Cash App or Venmo. I'm not using the old PayPal account I had. I did close it. So for those who would like to support, please feel free to send any donations to Cash App or Venmo. And all donations are appreciated, and quite honestly, they are needed. I had a really good time yesterday. God really opened up a door, and I was able to go to the video shoot. That's actually what I'm doing right now, is editing all of the content, because I captured a lot of content almost during the entire show. So shout out to Up Above Entertainment. Shout out to Little Flip and Corey with the keys. Shout out to the crew. It was really dope. I got to connect with some new ladies that were also there. Like, we all did the casting call last Saturday. We all were there. It was really dope. We took, selfies and videos, and then we did the actual video shoot itself. And that was super fun. Like, some parts of it got like really super hot in there, but it was fun. I loved being in an environment where everyone's just having a good time, and there's no drama, there's no negativity. And even though we were there to do the video shoot, it was basically like, having a night out while getting a video shoot done. And there was just so much that I captured, and I'm very excited about the new beginnings that are going to manifest from this. Shout out to all of the Up Above Entertainment crew that was there, the media team. It was just amazing. It was really amazing. And then watching all of the dance, I'm learning Kumba, which that was my first time really doing Kumba. And I was trying to get the footwork. And then because I wasn't 100%, I didn't really do a ton of dancing. I did like a little bit of dancing, but mostly capturing footage. But I really enjoyed watching the people that were dancing, like the line dancing. There was this dope ass couple that did almost like Latina swing dancing, and I was able to capture that. So I'm actually almost done editing that footage, and then I'll be getting it uploaded. So like I said, shout out to Up Above Entertainment and Corey with the Keys and Little Flip. The Started from the Bottom music video was just, it was dope. And even though we had to keep doing multiple takes, it was fun. It was like nothing negative about it at all. And I really enjoyed everyone's energy. You know, everybody just coming together, and I forget her name. I know Elva's name, but the other lady, I think it's Berlinda. I have to look on Instagram again, but everybody was super sweet. You know, they were really embracing, you know, everybody was hugging when I came in and when I left on the same hand. So I had a really good time, and I'm grateful that even though I didn't have the money to pay like for the Uber or Lyft, I was still able to get there. And shout out to my homeboy, by the way, that gave me the ride. We've been friends a long time, and I hadn't seen him in like over a year, so it was dope reconnecting, and we were just reminiscing about stuff. He has his own online radio station. You guys will see, shout out to Bangin' 832 Radio. You guys will see him on panel with me soon. I'm gonna let him promote his radio station. He's a local Houston radio station. He's also an artist, and he was telling me yesterday that he pretty much grew up with Sauce Walka, and he was telling me how Zero used to kick it with like his family and stuff. So it was just kind of dope hearing like their back in the day memories and things like that. But I really had a good time, and I was able to meet some more new business owners during the event, and one even invited me to his event on the 29th, and he even invited me to perform. So I might actually be singing at that event. I'm just not for sure yet. So once we get a chance to talk, Grand Rising, Neptune, Pisces, thank you for tuning in. Once we get that chance to talk, then I'll know, you know, as far as, because I wanted to go to collaborate, like to capture content and edit, you know, and promote, because that's what I do as a multimedia producer and editor. I capture content, edit it into reels, edit it into videos, shorts for YouTube, and then upload and promote it. So like I said, I have a few hours of content to get edited, and that's what I'm going to be working on. And then of course, you know, the people in the video, I'll be not uploading, I will be tagging them in the video. So definitely I'm so grateful that I got to go, and I really had a good time. And I just want to thank everyone for their positive energy, and they really inspire me. Like you know, because of what I do go through with my health challenges that I'm speaking healing over, it's just really nice to be in environments where there's no negativity, there's no drama, and everyone's just enjoying each other, and everyone's just enjoying time and space together. So it was really fun. It was really a good time, and a lot of great connections, a lot of great energy. So y'all just stay tuned. If you are following me on Instagram, that's where you'll see pretty much all the content. I mean, I will upload to YouTube, but I'm going to upload to Instagram first. That way I can tag everybody that was actually there, and they can see the content and share it on their channels as well. So I definitely enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to more opportunities like that, you know, more chances to be a part of video shoots. I want to definitely collaborate with not only Up Above Entertainment, but the other business owners that I met as well, and just really be able to bring DMP Studios One energy to, you know, these other brands and other businesses. And that was the other thing, was everyone is wanting to collaborate. You know, like I was asked to collaborate, which was pretty dope. So I'm speaking into existence new opportunities for not just stable income, but for me to get my health taken care of, and then to really live out my dreams, getting paid doing what I love to do. That's really what it's about. So I won't be on live as much because I've got so much content to edit. But I do plan on doing at least one, maybe 2 lives this week. And for sure, I want to cover the war between Israel and Iran. The irony is that after the last live, within 30 minutes of me ending that live on Rumble, I got a notification from Rumble that Trump had just dropped nuclear bombs. I don't know why the fuck I can't talk, probably because I'm tired. Nuclear bombs on, I guess, their military base that he alleged had nuclear weapons or whatever. And then right after that said he wants peace, but I don't really see, that's like an oxymoron, how you can bomb a facility and then say that you want peace. So remember, I've been telling you guys about the peace and safety and the peace treaty. So yeah, I'll discuss that later on, but definitely right now my focus is getting this content out, making sure to tag everyone, making sure to keep those positive connections going. And that is where I would rather keep my energy, is on real life, opportunities in person right here where I'm at, and not focusing on the challenges. I really keep trying to make sure that I am that example of, even in the face of adversity, even in the face of uncertainty, to still have unwavering faith. And we can't ever control what happens to us. I saw a meme earlier that I shared to my story where it was saying, release what you can't control and focus on what you can. And the reality is, I'm having to rebuild my life because of these tumors and me needing this surgery. And there's days it's not an easy process. And there's days that don't feel so overwhelming, but like I tell people, you can either focus on every part of your journey that feels hard or unfair or challenging, or you can use that as an opportunity to rise above. And what I'm learning truly is to flow. Because if I know I've done all I can do, then that's all I can do. And at that point, it's in the hands of the Most High God and my angels and ancestors, and they've never let me down. They have never left me. They're always here with me. And so, I know quite a few people that are in the same exact position as me, but they're not in the position that they're in because of health challenges. They're in the position that they're in because of decisions and choices they made that were not good. And so to all of those, I do send healing. I get life can be overwhelming and people turn to certain things, vices, for comfort. But if a vice becomes a crutch and an obstacle, then you may need to consider, getting some help to figure out why is it more important for you to have a vice to cope with life difficulties instead of tapping into the God that's within you, truly tapping in to the God that's in you. And God is not outside of you. It's not a person. It's not a place or a thing. It's an energy. Everything that I've manifested, I've literally manifested through faith. And even though there obviously have been times that I have received help, there's been plenty of times where I haven't had any help at all. And I still had to have faith that God was going to make a way, some kind of way. And whatever I'm faced with, I accept that that's part of the journey. And that's just God's will, not, oh, woe is me, why is this happening? Every part of our journey is necessary. Even the uncertainty, even the frustrating parts, even the parts that trigger anxiety and fear and panic. And I get it, we're all humans, so we tend to have those knee-jerk reactions because of how we've been conditioned. But the reality is, allow what comes up for you to come up for you, but don't stay there. Like, don't dwell on the difficulty. Focus on how do you want to see your life play out. That's what I think every day. And even like today, I said, show me how good life can be. I called on my angels and ancestors to assist me in my current situation. And part of those prayers have already been answered. The first part was favor. And now I just need to wait for the manifestation of what I know I need to take care of what I need. And this is coming from me being born with Graves' disease, which again causes anxiety and depression. So I overstand those emotions. But I know that me giving my mind and my energy to that is not going to help resolve anything in my life. It's just going to keep me stuck. And I've learned that that's how we create blockages. Like, you'll pray for help, you'll pray for a breakthrough, and then because you don't see it, or something got delayed, or something hasn't come yet, or this situation happened and this situation happened. Sometimes life is hard. That's earth life. We have to remember we are on a planet that belongs to the fallen angels. We're also smack dab in the middle of the actual tribulation that the Bible talks about. So there's going to be times that it's hard. We can't control that. You can only control what you focus on. And what you focus on, you give your power to. So if I were to focus on how difficult my journey has been, and it has been, there's been times it's been great, and there's been a whole lot of times it's been challenging and really, really hard. And in those moments where it's been really, really hard is when I go even harder in my spirituality. It's when I pray even more. I meditate even more. I am intentional about doing whatever I have to do to raise my frequency, because that's the only way I'm getting through difficult times. I'm not getting through difficult times allowing myself to slip into anxiety and depression, because those are low vibrational energies that are based off the frequency of fear, and fear literally blocks manifestations. So I'm learning through all this, grow through what you go through. I'm learning through it. Things are not easy, but they're going to get better. And that's what I know. I know that beyond a shadow of a doubt. And these are the moments when you are going through your hardest times that you really do have to build yourself up on your most holy faith. There's a scripture in the Bible that says that, and it's true. The only person that can build your faith is you. So I don't need to see how things are going to work out. That is truly the universe's job to figure out. I just need to believe and know that they are. And every time I lead with that frequency, they work out. Like, beyond a shadow of a doubt. Every time. So that's what I want people to learn from me, from watching my real life journey. This is like my real life version of the wilderness, or when, Yeshua walked on water. Like, you can't see all the time. Even me, even with my gifts. The thing I noticed is that, like, even when I died and went to heaven and they showed me what was going to happen, they told me, we're intentionally not going to show you until it's time for it to manifest. So you have to just be this real life example of walking by faith and showing people what happens when you give into faith over fear. We create our own realities. Like when I showed you guys the angel numbers, and I've been seeing a ton, my God, a ton. So my angels and ancestors are definitely around me. I saw 2222, and I looked it up, and it was a beautiful message about your angels are guiding you, and they're leading you to positive new outcomes, to positive new answered prayers. And right now, in all transparency, I still need to attract the resources to pay for where I'm staying. I still need to attract the resources to, do laundry, to get more groceries, to pay bills. I could sit here and be frustrated about how I have all these things I got to take care of. And, no, I just know everything I need comes to me with ease. All my needs are met. All my needs are met. I'm always provided for. I'm always taken care of. Things somehow always work out for me. Thank you for my assistance. Thank you for my help. Thank you for my provision. Those are positive mantras. Again, I cannot control the circumstances, but I can control where I spend my energy currency. And that is all I want people to learn. Yes, we have trials. That's part of life, especially when you are one of the chosen. Think about Yeshua's journey. Think about how many people betrayed Yeshua. Judas was not the only one. Think about how many people that Yeshua actually healed that turned on him and participated in his crucifixion. Think about all the times Yeshua was attacked and called a demon and called Beelzebub because of the spiritual gifts. Yeshua was just like me. Empath, clairvoyant, clairaudient, psychic medium. Reiki. Yeshua was not some fake religious hypocrite. Yeshua was just like everybody else. But tapped in to his higher self, to the God frequency. So human life is not about survival and struggle unless that's the frequency you live on. And a lot of us grew up, like I grew up in the hood, grew up in a single parent household until my mom got remarried. My mom worked 3 jobs to take care of all 4 of her kids by herself. I watched her struggle a lot. And I used to hate that as a kid, watching my mom having to work this hard and struggle. So when I look at stuff like that, I'm like, we've been, especially our race, we've been conditioned that you have to struggle and you have to live in survival mode, when no, I deserve to thrive in life. From surviving to thriving. From lack to wealth. From sickness to good health. From chaos to peace. That's how my brain is being reconditioned. And I'm so grateful to recognize healing that at one time wasn't there. Like I said, when I think back to how much I used to drink, even yesterday, we got free drinks, and shout out to the people that bought the drinks at the table that we were at. I don't drink anymore, not at home. I really am only a social drinker. And I had 2 beers and 1 shot because they were they were giving those to us, especially because we were there to film. And I remembered back to when I couldn't go a day without drinking 2 bottles of E&J. Like literally, that was my daily thing. And if I didn't drink E&J, I would get Remy. If I couldn't get Remy, I just always had to have alcohol and lots of it. Like I remember when we used to have drinking games at like 10 and 11 o'clock in the morning when I was with my first girlfriend, and it was me, her bestie, and his boyfriend. And I just think back to that, like, damn, I remember that. And like, I'm not in that place. Like when I was talking to my homeboy, he was like, you don't even be buying? I said, no, I don't even be drinking no more. Like, I want to stay so focused on creating the life that I want, that I don't want to fall back into old toxic ways. Because I still, like, we all have issues. Like, we all have stuff we're working through. I am working through healing a lot right now. So I have to stay in that place, especially if I'm going to be a spiritual guide to other people. I can't allow the uncertainty to dictate my frequency. But what I can do is change my frequency. It's just like when you're tuning into a radio. For those of you that are around my age, that were born, in the 80s. Y'all remember them old school radios where you had to turn the fucking knob to get to either FM or AM radio? It's just like that. Whatever frequency you tune into is what you attract. So if I sit here and get frustrated, which again, I have had moments of frustration, and that's when I had to stop, ground and center myself and pray and go do my saltwater cleanse. Like I said, you can do a saltwater cleanse just washing your hands. I had to clear that energy out of me, because that comes from a lack mentality. And I was like, I'm not going to manifest lack. Even if it looks like I have lack, I'm not manifesting it. I'm manifesting abundance, favor, prosperity, healing. That's where my frequency is going to remain. That way, the universe feels that vibration from me and says, okay, I feel that you deserve these things, so I'm going to give them to you. But if I'm focused on lack and frustration and being pissed off and all of that, then it's going to say, okay, well, that's the only thing you're feeling, so that's what I'm going to give you. Everything that happens to us, the universe literally responds to our vibration, not our circumstances. The universe don't give no fucks if some bad shit happened that is fucked up. The universe only cares about what comes from your brain to it. Your thoughts create your reality. So I want to create a reality of peace, first and foremost, good health, wealth, abundance, and living my best life and actually achieving my goals, actually getting paid, doing what I love to do and getting paid well, and being able to start it from home with an upfront advancement. I am so specific in my intentions. Like when I'm setting my intentions, which I'm speaking those intentions into existence right now, I am so specific because I want the universe to know exactly what I want to manifest and what I feel I deserve to receive. And it was really dope, like I said, being able to kick it with my homeboy, because he's known me for 12 years. And he remembered when I had, my apartment when I first moved here way back in 2012. And then not my last apartment, the first one I had before, because I stayed there throughout my lease and then moved to a different part of Houston. But he was there when I moved into my apartment back in 2022. And he was like, to imagine you physically in the bathroom bleeding for like an hour to 2 hours really scares me, bro. I'm like, everybody's scared, man. I'm not scared. I am not scared, because I'm already healed. Whatever they tell me, I am literally a healer. This is a generational curse I am breaking. My grandma went through this and both my uncles went through this. I am breaking this curse by speaking healing, not giving into despair, and actually keeping my frequency high. So I'm not going to be scared. I'm going to be healed. Okay, that's not what I was trying to do. Hold on. I was trying to adjust the zoom in, not switch characters. Okay. What the hell? So that's what, I was telling him that, and he said, man, that makes me, he's like, I'm really proud of you, because most people would be self-destructing right now. I'm like, bro, I did that shit for so many years, which is why I refuse to go back to how I used to be. Yeah, it'd be easy to drinking. It's not going to resolve shit, number one. It'd be easy to do that. It'd be easy to, go out here and be like a lot of these other females selling ass and shit. Ain't no way. I am celibate. Until it is time for me to be aligned with my divine masculine, I am celibate. I am way too talented to lower my frequency to that type of desperation. No judgment on who does that, but I'm not. And I'm not doing no OnlyFans. I realized just how talented I was over these past couple of weeks with the feedback I've been getting from the people I've been aligned to connect with in real time out here. Because I'm so used to always hustling and working because that's how I grew up. Like I said, we had a business growing up. Event catering, full-on weddings, and we had a church, another business. So, and then like all the shit I was involved in school with all of that. I'm used to always being on the go, always doing a business meeting, always doing a marketing presentation, always doing a demonstration cooking, always catering an event, putting together wedding cakes, putting together all the catering chauffeurs and decorating the tables. Like I literally grew up working nonstop since I was 12 years old. That's why even when I don't feel good, I could be laying down, I'm still editing on my phone. Even when I'm having my episodes, when I'm in there bleeding, I'm on my phone editing. I literally carry with me every time I move to a different location. I carry 3 wooden trays because I need one for the bathroom, for my medical supplies, for the wipes, gloves, toilet paper, all that stuff, sanitary stuff. Then I have another one that's a pop-up desk for my laptop and my phone, and I sit there and edit. That's how bad I want to change my life for the better, and how much I'm not going to do something that's going to compromise my integrity that I know I'm going to regret later. And quite honestly, the people I know that's doing that ain't even making that much money for real. So you doing all that and not even really getting paid, that's no. I know how to edit. I know how to produce shows. I know how to create content. I know how to develop animation and avatars. I know how to code. I speak HTML5, CSS3, JavaScript programming, SQL, XML, Bootstrap. I know how to do a lot of shit. So if I have all these talents, I have every intention to capitalize off of every last one of them. From my phone and from my laptop. Or like if I could do like a hybrid situation. But I'm going to change my reality with my talents, not with my body and not with getting with somebody, because a lot of people do that. They'll get with somebody for the sole purpose of just using that person or just, trying to come up. And it's like, nah, I'm happily single and celibate. And I'm going to, every talent I have, talent for editing, talent for singing, talent for making music, playing music, cooking, health and nutrition, spirituality, tech support, helping people, troubleshoot their phones and laptops and stuff, and providing virtual software, help desk. I know how to do all of that. And then as things do progress and I'm able to physically and financially secure a commercial kitchen, I'm going to be doing prep and drop off, like maybe once a week or twice a week. Get some high-end clients, doctors, those type of people who need someone to deliver food because they're so busy. Like I have so many talents, so it's just a matter of, as my health allows, focus on those. I focus on my editing. I started writing another song, and it's like, I just believe that everything I've ever wanted is about to manifest, and that was the reason for all of the tower moments of 2024. It's for realignment. It's always for realignment. Oh wait, I didn't put the title? Oh, hold on. I keep forgetting. It always puts like a different title in here for some reason. Hold on, y'all. I don't know why it does that. That's weird. See, I think that's an app issue because when I was on the Rumble app, it didn't do that. Hold on. Okay, hopefully it updates the title. Let me see. Okay. Let me make sure. So I'm trying to make sure it's updating Twitch and Facebook too. Okay. So yeah, it updated. 111. Thank you, angels. I just saw the 111 as I looked up. That's another angel number. And I've seen that one today. I've seen 1111. I've seen 333 like 5 times, which is awesome. 444, 555 for new beginnings, and then the 888s. So, like I said, I'm grateful for healing. I'm grateful for strength. I am grateful for the talents that I have. And I'm going to create my brand new life with my talents, despite the health challenges. And the health challenges are there to be a testimony, not only of faith, but also of healing. The woman with the issue of blood was healed by her faith. The symbolism was her touching the hem of Yeshua's garment, but it was her own thoughts that created her reality. Because she said, if I could just get to that place of faith, I can be healed. And so she was. And so, yeah, I'm grateful. Yesterday was the first day that I did not have an episode. Literally, like all week. I was so thankful for that. Because there's nothing worse than having an episode and then going and standing when you're in level 8 and 9 pain. Especially from, how long was I there? Like almost 6 hours, I think. Yeah, it was about 6 hours. And so I really just believe I can manifest my healing. I know I can, in fact. And sometimes healing does come from medical treatment. Like, you can have the gift of Reiki, and I believe that you can heal yourself. But some things, when so much damage has been done and so much time has gone without repair, it is okay to seek medical help. But I also just don't believe in taking any sort of pills at all. Like, only thing I take is over-the-counter diphenhydramine and cetirizine allergy medicine. Because all those different prescriptions they had me on over the years for Graves' disease alone really fucked with my digestive system. And then, like I said, when my doctor put me on Ambien to help with the insomnia from Graves, and I took myself off of it, that's when these bleeding spells started. Like, literally, it was right after I discontinued taking Ambien. And like I said, I did some research and found out that people had sued the makers of Ambien for patients reporting that after they discontinued use, they started having the same issues I was having. However, the other side of the tumors is something that does run in my family. But the excessive bleeding didn't start until I stopped fucking with that shit. So that's why, like, that whole year, 2020, that was when I stopped taking pharmaceutical pills. Like, I told my doctor, I was like, I don't want to take any of this shit anymore. I don't want to take Ambien because this shit was making me sleepwalk. And thank God that day, the last time I sleepwalked, I woke up because I had left my damn oven on and didn't even know that. Like, the oven was on, TV was on, lights were on, music was on. And I was like, what the hell happened to me? I don't want to take no shit that has me like that. I don't care if it is to help me sleep. And so she was telling me, like, you shouldn't just stop taking it cold turkey because it can have really negative side effects. And apparently this bleeding is one of those. So I'm looking into some litigation about that. because I actually have the medical records from back then. And this having gone untreated for almost 4 years, why does it keep, you know what? I just realized because it's what I'm clicking on. I thought I was clicking on the zoom and I was clicking on the character button. So yeah, I plan on finding out if they're going to be doing another class action lawsuit, because by the time I found out back in 2020 that they were going to do it, it was too late for me to sign up. But I want to see if me personally can file a claim, because going through this is definitely overwhelming sometimes physically. And if I can prove it to the point where they have to compensate me, all of that could help with the treatment that I need. And so that's something I'm getting ready to get started as well. Like I said, I'm grateful I still have all that evidence. So I stopped taking all that shit. And that's when I decided to start my Chef on the Budget, Eat Your Way Healthy segments, because I always would be cooking on live on Facebook or Instagram before I started my YouTube channel. I just never had a title for it. You know, I didn't create the title until after I made my YouTube channel. So me being a certified culinary trainer, which is how I got out to Houston in the first place in 2012, because I worked for Longhorn Steakhouse and I opened the Woodlands Longhorn in 2013. That's been one of my jobs since, I was 19 when I started actually officially working in restaurants. But my mom started her catering and wedding cake business when I was 12. So I became a sous chef when I was 15. So the kitchen is another place of therapy, because like when I had my apartment, I would just put on one of my favorite playlists on my phone, get in the kitchen, create, and then jump on live and explain, you know, the health benefits of the ingredients I was using to make whatever I was making. Show how easy it is to prep, the proper way to maintain temperature of foods, because again, I'm also ServSafe certified for food protection management, and I've worked with kitchen management. I've actually performed some kitchen management roles, and I got an A+ on my national ServSafe back when I was in culinary school. So I actually plan to update my ServSafe certification to include TABC, the Texas Alcohol certification. That way, if I do decide to do a catered event, like if I were to get booked to cater a wedding or a banquet or something like that, there's people I know already that are bartenders that I've met just in, you know, going to events, or even some of the Airbnbs I've stayed at. You know, some of the hosts work on the side as like bartenders. So it's like, you know, if I can add that certification, then I can officially serve alcohol and, you know, have a full-on event catering service. But it's not me doing all the physical work. It's me hiring more than likely culinary students, because they're cheapest to hire, and they need the experience for when they go into stage. Stage it's a French word. I'm not going to lie to you guys, I don't remember the definition, but I do know that in the kitchen, stage means to shadow. So I'm just going to assume maybe that's what it means in French. It's where you go and you shadow other chefs in the kitchen. So they'll take you to like saute station, the pantry where all the appetizers and desserts are made. At Longhorn specifically, it's pantry, salads, appetizers, desserts, anything that's ready to eat. You know, some of the sauces, most of the sauces we didn't make, those did come in on the truck, but it's more prepping the stuff. And then there is the grill station, flat top and char grill. There's the fry station. There's what's called quarterback, which is internal expo, where you're plating and pushing the food out to the actual expo. And then the expo assigns the plating to the correct tables, and then the servers go and deliver the plates. So I've done full service kitchen management training for years. But at this time, physically, until I get the surgery taken care of, that's not a reality. So that's why I'm creating my new channel that will be dedicated to nothing but chef on a budget, eat your way healthy, and any like sort of past events. I'm going to be editing footage from previous events, because the last major one I did was in Florida when I was still living right outside of Destin, and I catered this event that was like $100 a plate. It was a private event. It was dope, and I became friends with the people whose event I catered, and we even went out that night. So, you know, I've done some really amazing things by myself despite what I go through with my health, and I know what I'm capable of, but I do know that I also have to take my health seriously, and the biggest priority is getting everything done, getting everything scheduled, and getting everything started. So if I were to lower my frequency to fear, I would be panicking about how is all this going to work out. And I just prayed, look, it's going to work out, because everything always works out in my favor. And even if something doesn't come through or something does get delayed, God has always made a way some other kind of way. Like yesterday, I was getting discouraged because I realized how far it was. It was going to cost, you know, well over $100 to go via Uber or Lyft. And I prayed about it. And the lady that did the callback that invited me, I let her know. I didn't tell her I wasn't coming. I just said I was having, you know, some difficulty with securing transportation, but that I was going to see what I could do. And then my homeboy, you know, came to mind, and he was like, well, I'm already going to be going that way anyway, so it's not a big deal, and I'm already out by where you're at. So I'm like, all right, cool. And it just worked out. It just didn't work out in the way I initially expected, but it did still work out. And then him and I were able to reconnect and, you know, reminisce about shit. And like, there are people in my real life that are out here that actually know me for real. He's one of them. Like, he's one of them. And the fact that they're still using the website that I coded, man, and that website looks, compared now to what my skill set is, when I look at that shit, I'm like, oh, I would never put that in the portfolio. But, you know, they really enjoy it, and they still use it. So I'm like, that's wild. Just to see the skill set, how my skill set has developed since then. And also seeing how dope it is that his business has taken off. And, you know, they've been doing interviews and events. And I was like, man, I remember when this was all just like an idea. And then now look at where you're at. And he was congratulating me on my YouTube channel because I'm getting close to 7,000 subscribers. And like I said, I'm not one of them people that gets too overly caught up in like subscriber count and algorithms, because I'm not on YouTube for that. Like, I really don't care about that shit, quite honestly. I mean, it's nice to see, you know, the growth. Like, of course I check my YouTube studio, but that's not like a goal. My goal is to continue to build my platform and bring everybody over to Rumble, because I don't plan on being on YouTube much longer, as far as, you know, speaking about like my truth investigations, because Rumble is completely uncensored. So you don't have to worry about censorship or them trying to take down your videos because, you know, you're speaking too much truth, you know, you're exposing too much, whatever type of bullshit. Rumble is so truly freedom of speech, and their platform's not bad. I will say, it seems like their app does have some issues with audio. For those of y'all that was actually on Rumble with me the other day, even for those that catch the replay, will you let me know if you guys experience any audio interruptions when you joined me on Rumble? Because when I started listening to the playback, I heard a few. And I'm like, I don't know if it's my device or if they actually have audio. problems. So if you guys were on there, just let me know in the chat, or after the live ends, because pretty soon I am going to end it. I am so very tired. Like, I'm so very tired. And it definitely was worth it, but I definitely realized, like, I really need to get more rest. As ambitious as I am and as hard as I always go with my goals, I realized that I need to pay more attention to resting when my body needs to rest because of what it's going through. I can't go super hard physically. Like, I can lay down and edit for sure, but when I need to lay down, I need to like listen to my body and do so. Because the calmer that I keep myself, the more it aids in my healing. But when energy starts to feel chaotic, or again, me being an empath, clairvoyant, feeling the energy of people around me, even some people virtually, like if I start to feel too many people's energies, it does affect me. So then I have to just kind of cut the world off. I'll just put my phone on do not disturb and start editing. Because the notifications do distract me when I'm trying to edit. They really do. And then they get in the way of the screen of what I'm actually editing. So I just made this dope ass intro. When I first got to the venue, it was pretty nice. Like, I had never been there before. It was very much so Western theme, but they have like a huge projector screen that took up, it was like almost as wide as the stage, which was dope. So I was able to capture some of the logos from like the really big screen, and I just edited an intro. So initially the intro was 30 seconds long, when I just was doing like the raw, capturing of it at the event. Then I edited it down into like an 11-second intro, and then I increased the duration and cut the time down to 5 seconds. Like, stuff like that technical shit, I love doing it. So like, there are times that people may reach out to me and I may not respond for a long time, because more than likely my phone's on do not disturb, so I can stay focused. Because that's why you guys always hear me mixing up my words. That's from Graves' disease. It causes concentration and memory issues. That's also why, like, I do have ADHD from, being a kid from the 80s and the shit I went through. But Graves' disease enhances that because it causes brain fog, and then it causes repetitive thoughts. So there's times that I will not realize I'm repeating myself until someone points it out to me. But it's easy for me to lose focus because of how it affects your central nervous system and your cognitive system. It causes disruptions in that because of the thyroid stimulating hormone still producing too much of it. So when I'm really tired, my brain is super foggy. That's also why sometimes I'll be, talking about something and say either the incorrect word or the wrong person's name, because my brain is trying to process more than one subject at the same time. And it's like, the only way I can describe it is it's almost like every thought is just like a lower third. For those that don't know what a lower third is, that's a editing term for, like, when you watch a video and you see, like on CNN, and you see the message at the bottom of the screen, that's what's called a lower third. So it's almost like the way my brain sees words is like a lower third scrolling across the screen, and it's trying to make sure that it captures every single word as it's scrolling. And so then sometimes my thoughts get like really mixed up, or I have to stop and take a pause to make sure that I slow them down enough so that I'm not mixing up words or misspeaking. And so, like, we were discussing that too, because he's witnessed the effects of Graves' disease on me in real life. He's been around me and stuff. And he just was like, I really hate you're going through this by yourself. I'm like, but I'm not. I have my angels and ancestors with me. And this part of my journey, how I truly feel, is that it is nothing more than part of the testimony. What is perceived as difficulty, what is perceived as lack, what is perceived as frustration, what is perceived as unfair, what is perceived as just tired of, like you getting that negative, I'm tired of going through this shit frequency. And while it's okay to feel that way, because we're human, don't stay there. Be like, man, I'm tired of going through this shit. Okay, fuck that energy. What can I do to fix this? What can I do to change this? What can I do? The 333 angel number said that. It said, the angels want you to know that you have the ability to attract abundance and prosperity into your life with your own thoughts, words, and intentions. So it's not for me to always see the outcome. Like, I do have premonitions. I do know that things in my life are about to take a major positive turn, back to back, because I keep seeing it. But when I'm in the middle of a manifestation that I'm waiting to come, especially financially, and you have to pay for this, and you got to make sure so that you have a place to stay, and you got to make sure you pay for this to keep your phone on, you got to make sure you pay bills, and that money hasn't come yet, it's very easy to plummet into depression, anxiety, and fear. And like I was telling someone earlier, I said, baby, how is that going to help you manifest what you're telling me you need to happen in your life? If you know that you need specific things, be specific with your intentions when you pray. Now, if I sit up and worry about everything, if I sit up and worry about if I have cancer, if I sit up and worry about how I'm going to pay this, how I'm going to pay that, and what's going to happen, guess what? That's the only frequency the universe is feeling from me. Fear. And I'm telling y'all, this is something I'm practicing daily. The minute those emotions come up, I say out loud, everything I need comes to me with ease. And I redo the You Are the Creators, I am provided for, all my needs are met. All my needs are met. I'm always provided for, I'm always taken care of. Things somehow always work out. And I add, for my good. Thank you for my help. Thank you for my assistance. Thank you for my provision. Gratitude attracts abundance. So that's why I've been seeing 333 so much. It's reminded me that, okay, you can't see how this is about to work out. Okay, you're faced with these challenges. What are you going to do with your energy? I'm going to pray for breakthroughs. I'm going to pray for healing. I'm going to pray for favor. I'm going to believe that I can manifest anything. And wherever this journey takes me, it's God's will, whether I like it or not. That's true. Like, for real, that's what trust in God really is, bro. It's not, oh, I know exactly, like, I get paid on Friday. Nah, it's, nope, wilderness. Now you have to trust me and only me. That way nobody else gets the glory when the victory comes in. And now I'm an example of perseverance and faith in overcoming obstacles. Overcoming despite what I may be told once my biopsies are done. And my thing is this. While thyroid cancer, and there's different forms of thyroid cancer, while thyroid cancer is one of the most curable forms of cancer, it has killed people. And I beat that twice. No medicine, no chemo, none of that. Sheer faith. Faith changing what I ate and changing the way that I thought. That's what got me into deep diving into spirituality. because I wanted to know what my true purpose was here. Because when you hear cancer, you automatically think of death. So it's like, the way I looked at it was, everything that I want to do, I got to do it right now. Instead of waiting and waiting for a perfect moment or a certain amount of money, no, I'm going to start right where I'm at, and I'm going to make it happen. And if something doesn't come or gets delayed, there's a reason for that, and God's going to make a different way. See, people talk about trusting God until you have to trust God. Understand? Like, you say you trust God, and then all of a sudden you're in a position where you don't have a job and you don't have income, and you're working so hard to obtain income, and you still have to deal with health challenges daily on top of that. So, in my mind, trusting God is, I just believe it's going to happen. How it happens, that's God's job. That's my angels and ancestors' job. That is why I'm being taken through this journey. You know, I've heard a lot of things, and I'm really grateful for the new opportunities that are coming in, because it's allowing me to give less energy to just, stupid shit. But I did hear that Corella DeVille, Auntie Mickey, made a negative comment about, apparently they were talking shit on Stone's channel. I don't really care. But I heard that she made a comment about my health. And when it comes to things like that, you should be really careful the way you speak on other people, because you never know when it might be you in an even worse health predicament. And I remember when Jaguar made fun of this condition and called me a hemophiliac and said I should go to sleep and not wake up. When I think about people who say things like that, I actually feel sorry for them. Because I know that somewhere deep down inside of you, there is a person who is extremely damaged, because energy like that can only come from unhealed energy. And then I look at my physical body and what I actually really do go through daily. And I look at how I'm still able to come to this platform and bring positive energy, healing, and uplifting and encouraging energy. And those very people who spoke on me are not. At all, ever. So I'm grateful for healing. I'm grateful that I can honestly say I have beat thyroid cancer twice. Neither one of you can say that. And you never know when you might be dealing with cancer one day. That's why you should never, ever speak negative on someone's condition, especially when they're a high vibrational. Touch not my anointed. People are going to learn to stop the hard way. And that's unfortunate. But what you speak, you attract. So if you speak negative on my health, and then your health takes a turn, that came from you. My prayers of reversal are spiritual protection. Any energy that rises up against me shall fall immediately and be destroyed. And chaos and confusion will come about your lives, and death and hell will follow your own evil intentions back to you. So it won't come to me at all, but it will come back to you 100,000 times worse. And I will be healed, because I already am. I'm speaking healing into existence. The only way to heal is to speak and believe that you are. the test is getting through the physical challenges and not plummeting in your frequency. Being intentional to actively work on raising your frequency. And if people were more focused on raising their frequency, they wouldn't target my health as a topic to make fun of or speak negative of. But I can't really expect anything less from a woman who openly supported a registered sex offender and she's married. So I just hope one day that you never know what it's like to deal with cancer. But if you do find out one day what it is like to live with cancer, I hope you find your healing. It's nothing to play with. When I had thyroid cancer, I lost, 53 pounds? It was like either 51 or 53 pounds in like a month. And it was much worse because I would be vomiting and having diarrhea at the same time, no matter what I ate. And it would happen to me at work. And it was so embarrassing. And people remember that. For all those strangers who have lied and said, oh, she's making this up, that don't actually know me. There are people in real life, even here in Houston, that have been around me when I've had episodes. And this is not about pity. This is not about glorifying illness. This is my real life medical journey. And this is what I'm going to even be speaking on my Chef on a Budget, Eat Your Way Healthy segment, because all of what I have been through, the thyroid cancer, all of the bowel issues, the traumas I've been through, it's all been designed for me to be the example of learning to heal through all of it, to overcome all of it. And the very people speaking on my health could never be even probably half as strong as me. And I thank God, because that's what my homeboy said last night. And also my cousin told me that, and my second mom. They all said that to me at different times this week, and they don't even know that. So I was like, that's divine confirmation. Stop worrying about people that don't even know you. Perfect strangers that have never been around you, that don't know anything about you, your life. We know who you are, and we're proud of you. So I'm grateful for every part of this journey, even the parts I didn't like, because it all led me to here. And now I have been blessed to make local connections with people who we share the same frequency. And it's no bullshit to it. It's legit people wanting to collaborate. Let's do this, let's work on this. Hey, we want you to come here. You can come perform. Like, doors are opening. So just because my circumstances today, right now, aren't how I thought they would be, the favor that I received is a blessing. And wherever this leads me, I trust it, because I know it's leading me to what I have called in and what I have set intentions for. A positive new beginning. And I've been preparing myself for marriage. That is why I'm celibate. I don't practice religion. Everybody who knows me knows that I'm spiritual. Celibacy is because I don't want to soul tie, because of how powerful my spiritual gifts are. I don't want to deal with bullshit. I just don't. I don't want to deal with people on, just the bullshit part of people want to be with you but want to cheat and lie. Like, I've done all that already. So I would much rather prepare myself for the divine union that I keep being shown. And I pray for the healing of my future divine masculine as well, that there are no blockages on the divine union when it is time for it to come in, and that'll happen in divine timing. In the meantime, I want to manifest my own goals to prove to myself that I was able to not only overcome the health challenges, but actually accomplish my goals in my dreams, because that is what my father would have wanted me to do. That's what my uncle would have wanted me to do. That's what my best friend and my other sister wanted me to do. That's what my grandparents wanted me to do. That's what they fought and died for, especially my grandma that picked cotton and the slaves before her. Every ancestor of mine made a way for me to be free today. So why would I lower my frequency to do some shit just to make some quick money that I know I'll regret the rest of my life when I have talents? A lot of people that resort to that is because, unfortunately, they don't. So no, I believe I'm manifesting. And it's going to manifest just like yesterday did. And yesterday was so amazing. It really was, the whole experience. And I really am looking forward to, another video shoot event like that, and the upcoming events. I'm speaking into existence the manifestation of everything I need to go to every event I've been invited to. And for the ones, especially where I can perform, if I can do a cover song, I know for sure I could go and sing Say Yes by Floetry. And singing is my joy. Music is my first love. Singing brings me joy. It elevates my frequency. That's why I could be in the bathroom bleeding and I will sit there and put my earbuds in and start fucking singing while I'm bleeding, because it elevates my frequency. And then I start ascending into joy, even though I'm physically in pain. And then eventually the episode stops and the bleeding stops. Because what happens is the lower part of my intestine that is, how do I say that? Extended, I guess you could say, that hangs out. It contracts all the time. And the more it contracts, the more I bleed. And the more hurt I am. That needs to be repaired immediately, in addition to the tumors. And like I said, when I spoke with the nurse over the phone, she said, I think you might be experiencing, what is it called? Prolapse, because of how long you've gone without getting this treated. And once they grow to a certain size, that's exactly what happens. So no, targeting what I'm going through as a topic of discussion is only going to bring the same into your life. It's nothing for anybody that doesn't know me to be discussing, especially in a negative way, or to say that someone deserves that. Remember, that came out of your heart. You feel people deserve to be sick because you got checked for being fake. And you got blocked for being disrespectful in my chat. As a woman who's old as hell, I really do believe you're even older than my mom. So when it comes to things like that, the people that want the negative banter for AdSense deposits aren't going to get it. The only thing I'm focused on right now is editing content, collaborations, attracting the abundance I've been praying for and calling in, and watching it manifest, as well as my healing. My energy is currency. I refuse to spend it on bullshit and on non-motherfucking factors and real rejects of YouTube. And there's rejects in real life too. And sometimes they're the people you've known the longest. So people holding on to people that do not have your best interests in mind, holding on to people that are toxic, even engaging with people that is toxic can create blockages. It really can. So I'm learning that. I get to decide where my energy goes. I'd rather starve non-factors of my energy and focus on my goals, my talents. That's how I'm going to change my life. You're not changing anything for the better, giving a fuck about what strangers think about you. And when I thought about it from that perspective, I was able to release all that. I was like, you know what? You're right. Why the fuck am I even giving this shit energy when I can be giving myself energy to editing, getting content produced, creating new opportunities for myself, as those very people talking shit about me should be doing. So it's not my fault you're not focused on your talents, but I am. And I've got a lot of them. And I'm going to capitalize on all of them. Even with what I'm being faced with. This is how I walk by faith. This is how I trust in God. This is how I manifest. Giving energy to bullshit and negativity and drama will block it. So that is why I do roast. Because roasts are hilarious. And I get to laugh. That's how I deal with bullshit. I laugh. I raise my vibration with humor. So, I'm going to jump off here so I can finish. Actually, just finished that intro video, but I need to add my outro to that. And then the content from yesterday, I'll be getting as much of that uploaded as I can. And shout out to everybody that I met. Like I said, it was really dope. Thank you to those that came and subscribed to the channel. Thank you to those that followed me back on Instagram. And thank you to everybody for the positive comments about the videos that I did show you and just the energy at the event. It was, again, just amazing. And it's an amazing thing to see people of different races and backgrounds being in one environment without any drama. Everyone's just laughing and dancing and drinking and getting to know one another, and it's just a high vibe. That's why, like, when I wasn't going through so much of my health, when I would step out, it would always be places like that, or live bands, or karaoke. Like, I just want to go have a good time. Back in the day when I went out all the time, like in my 20s, and went to hood spots, you always had to worry about drive-bys. If somebody was going to shoot in the club, you know, life almost in danger, just trying to go out and have a good time. And it's like, I'm way too old for that shit and way too much like my peace. So I definitely enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to more business events, and I'm looking forward to my manifestations coming in. I really am. So I realized that I just can't hold on to people that choose to stay in lack. That's not something I will do, but I will pray for their healing and, you know, just kind of leave people where they are. So family, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I need to go because I need to finish these projects. And again, for those who would like to support, feel free to send a donation to my Cash App or Venmo. They are appreciated and needed. And thank you to those who have sent donations in the past. Thank you to those who sent donations last week. I do appreciate it. And I'm ready. I'm ready for my new beginning. I'm ready for every manifestation to come in. I'm ready for every premonition I've seen to manifest. And I am literally practicing and learning patience. That's why even today I was like, I can't worry about this anymore. You know, I've done everything I can do. Lord, give me favor. And that particular prayer got answered. And I said, and it's time. It's time for me to, it's time for my life to restabilize, because I'm working diligently on just that. And it's time for me to get to the doctor, get everything taken care of. That way I'm not living with any of this anymore. And I've completely broken the generational curse. And now I can go and do, you know, more events and go do more business things and just really enjoy life more, because I deserve to. I do. So thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Shout out to all the D's peeps. For those who have not, don't forget to go follow me on Rumble under JustDee Show. Make sure you click follow, like the content, leave a comment, share the video. Same thing with YouTube. Don't forget to like this video like, share, and subscribe for those who have not. Shout out to all of the new D's peeps. Shout out to everybody again from last night event that subscribed and that followed on Instagram. I am so looking forward to us all seeing each other again and working together more and just having a good time, having a good vibe. That's what life is about, enjoying it. So shout out to y'all. Y'all stay tuned. Have a good night.